Tappei has just released Arc 9 Chapter 34, and this video will be a summary of the chapter. Highly recommend you check out my Arc 9 Chapter 33 summary. Anyways, let's begin. It has been a month since Petra experienced compression. For Emilia, it was just a few days ago. Petra tells Flam that it will be okay. Flam says that she has seen Reinhard, so she can't be surprised by anything Clint can do. Petra knows from Subaru's memories that Reinhard once destroyed the loot house with a single swing. Petra wonders if transfer sickness works with teleporting abilities, such as when Speaker teleports. Some of the individuals, like Garfiel, would get sick, but someone like Petra wouldn't. Clint says not to worry because it isn't teleportation or transfer, but rather compression. Regardless, the group still can't really wrap their head around how compression actually works. Petra asks Clint if he can do it, and he agrees. Emilia then asks Petra what she sacrificed, but Petra says it will be fine. Emilia says that if Petra gets hurt, she'll be mad at Petra. Petra looks for the imaginary Subaru, who's looking over the desert, stating that if he was reliable, this wouldn't have happened. The imaginary Subaru ignored what Petra sacrificed. Of course, the imaginary Subaru knew what she did, but the imaginary Subaru did not approach it. Petra did not know why, probably because Subaru was simply a figment of her imagination, and she didn't want him to know. Regardless, Petra says it's probably kindness. After all, the Subaru in her mind was just as kind as the real Subaru. At that moment, Petra asked Clint to teleport them, and Petra's price was used. The group teleported, and as the group got their balance, voices shouted out it was the Three Stooges and the old man Rom. The scene changes. Petra, Emilia, are you okay? Emilia came running in. Petra feels overwhelming love for Emilia. Until now, she thought the Book of the Dead was the biggest factor for her, but this Emilia shock was even more influential. Petra gets a hold of herself and calls out to Emilia, calling her Ni Tama. Petra nearly called her Emilia Tan, but stopped herself. Emilia hugged both Petra and Emilia, and Emilia states that she's being crushed, but yet she still puts her arms behind Emilia's back to hug her. Subaru says that Emilia looks even cuter now. Of course, the Subaru in Petra's mind only knew of the Emilia from the sanctuary. During that time, of course, Petra did not know Emilia well enough to help her, so she did feel a bit of regret. Petra, however, did feel some relief, because in the final moments of the Book of the Dead, when Subaru took his own life, she saw that the Witch of Envy and Emilia had the exact same face. Petra was scared that she wouldn't see Emilia in the same way anymore. However, that didn't come to fruition. Old Man Rom says that it's gotten lively and says that everyone calls him Grandpa Rom, but that they haven't really talked much. Emilia says that when Felt stole her insignia and during the incident in the royal capital during the royal selection, they couldn't really talk. Rom asks if he can call her Emilia, and she says it's fine and calls him Grandpa Rom. Imaginary Subaru says this meeting is like a historic moment. Emilia and Rom shake hands, and Subaru is excited. Petra says that they need to get started. It's a race against time. We see that Clint's compressions sort of scattered everyone around, so Clint will take a bit longer to sort of regroup with everyone. Petra was placed with Old Man Rom after the compression, then they went to the royal mansion in Lagunica, and that's where they currently are. Emilia is also present. They note how ruined the capital has become. Petra hasn't been to the capital before, but she has Subaru's memories of the slums. Petra wonders if the ice towers are due to Emilia, and Emilia says it was her and that everyone was in danger, so she couldn't really hold back. Emilia says that she couldn't stop Owl. Petra says it's okay, and Emilia tried her hardest, calling her EMG, which stands for Emilia Tan's Magical Guardian Angel. Emilia thanks Petra, then goes, "Huh? What? What did you call me?" Petra shakes her head. She felt that it was her fault. After all, if she stopped out at the Pleiades watchtower, none of this would have happened. But Meili says that they were simply outplayed, and Old Man Rom says that they need to simply learn from their experiences. When you think about what Ao had done, he attacked the allies of the royal candidates. He turned the divine dragon against them. He used the Witch of Envy against Reinhard. He took a royal candidate hostage. He destroyed the noble quarters, and he broke a Sin archbishop out of prison. It was like Ao was trying to speedrun every crime imaginable. However, Petra knew that there was a plan behind it. From what Petra knew from Subaru's memories, he saw Ao as a fellow countryman. But regardless, his actions went over the limit. We see that Clint is collecting Frederica and the others, and Petra asks where Otto is, and Emilia stutters, and Petra realizes that Otto is overdoing himself again. After all, if he uses his divine blessing, it will cause him to get nosebleeds. We see that Otto is on a solo mission to track and obstruct Aldebrand's group. Petra thinks maybe if Ram was here, she could use her clairvoyance to help Otto. Petra then asks Emilia something, stating on their way there, Petra and Meili felt sick. We see that, after compression occurred, Flam was able to use her divine protection to locate Old Man Rom, and when they all met up, Petra felt intense fear for a second. She thought it was a side effect of the Book of the Dead, or that Reinhard had been defeated and the Witch of Envy was coming for her, but Meili also experienced the same effect, so it wasn't any of those things. It turns out Rom and Flam were unaffected, so Petra asks if it was related to Ao. Emilia reckons that the Sin Archbishop of Gluttony, saying that Ao had Roy do something and then afterwards they escaped. Since only Emilia's camp was affected, it must be related to them. Petra wonders about Speaker. Is it okay for her to be in Wallachia? But Petra stops herself, saying that she isn't Roswell. Gauging people on usefulness is a Roswell move. Old Man Rom says that since they can't really resolve this gluttony issue, it's best to just move on to the next topic, which is of course the Great Vent in Kararagi. This was the message left by Felt. Subaru watches Emilia interact with others, saying that she has grown strong. During the sanctuary, Subaru did not witness how much growth Emilia had. They say as long as they know the location, they can simply use Clint's power to get there. Thanks to the compensation Petra provided, they could only use it a limited amount of times, and eventually it would run out. However, they are interrupted with the appearance of Clint himself, who bows. Emilia then asks Clint for gathering everyone. Clint says it's okay since he went back to Merula on his own, and he thanks Petra for giving him encouragement. Clint then apologizes for being late, and Emilia asks if something happened. Clint shakes his head and says no. Obviously, Clint, when meeting up with the other people, he probably had to explain what was going on, hence why he was late. However, Clint says it's probably best to show them why he was late. I kept you waiting, didn't I? We see that Ram walks into the room wearing her maid costume and with her usual snarkiness. Emilia went towards Ram, but she stopped and touched her own head. Petra and Meili also felt the same feeling they experienced when Gluttony did what he did. However, it wasn't the same malice. Seeing Ram in the maid uniform felt like it pulled something deep from them, something deep from their mind. And the answer to that was explained just now. I apologize for joining you so late, Lady Emilia. The one who spoke was a blue-haired maid who bowed elegantly. Again and again, Petra's recognition was forcibly redrawn. Petra had never seen this person move elegantly. However, in this world, this was the person who taught Subaru and Petra what a proper maid looked like, back when she was still a simple village girl. And so, drawn by a magnetic force, Petra remembered, standing there was, to bring Subaru-kun back, Rem will give her utmost effort. Yes, the original all-purpose, endlessly helpful maid of Roswell's mansion, the one with the polite yet biting tongue, Rem, with her pale blue eyes, declared that unwaveringly. And with that, the chapter ends. So, it seems like Rem is back, and there's a lot of discussion with whether or not other people can remember Rem. I'm saying yes, they can, because this is the idea, this idea that seeing Rem has sort of brought their memories to the forefront. So it seems that indeed Rem's memories were released by Roy Alford, and everyone seems to have remembered Rem when they saw her. That's the reason why all of them, Meili, Clind, Petra, all sort of like touched their heads. So it seems like Rem's back. So I know lots of people are going to be happy about that. Let's see if it's like a combination of the Rem from Valakia and the Rem from like Arc 3. With that stated, this is probably where the hiatus is going to be. So if you like rezero content, please like and subscribe. I have a lot more rezero content coming for you guys.